Welcome everybody. Thank you for coming to this training session. My name is Pablo Matus and I'm the current president of LACA Queensland. LACA Queensland stands for the Latin American Community of Australia Queensland. We would like to thank Prince William Alexander Village, Mike and Mercedes for inviting us for this training session. The HK program for the Spanish-speaking elders is a very important part of our community. The community found that there was a necessity of having a cultural and appropriate service. And that's why Prince William Alexander Village and LACA came to be friends in this project. I would like to also introduce one of our community members, Mr. Luis Sanchez. He will be explaining in depth a bit more aspects about this project. Thank you very much for your cooperation and we'll be seeing you very shortly.
Yeah, as Pablo mentioned, my name is Luis Sanchez, and I'm part of the managing committee of LACA Queensland. And I've been part of the project with my care since the very beginning, so that's why I'm gonna take you through what LACA as an organization is, what we want to do and we want to achieve, what's the role in this relationship with my care, and our expectations in regards to the project for the culturally appropriate aged care service for the Spanish-speaking community. So first of all, LACA Queensland is a non-for-profit organization with the vision of building a cohesive and vibrant Latin American community that works collectively to celebrate its diversity while contributing to a stronger Australian society. So basically what we say is that, yeah, we are proud of our background, we want to celebrate it, and we want to share it with the wider society. And we do that by engaging not only our community, but other communities and the general society as well. And once we find a common ground and understand each other and know each other better, we can work together and we can support each other to create a better future, not only for our community, but for the Australian society. And how do you do that? Basically, you have to create opportunities to engage both sides, our people and also the wider community. So probably the best example is what is happening with MyCare and LACA Queensland. This project brings together different communities, and by supporting each other are creating services that were not available before and that will respond and improve the life of many people in our community and will improve the circumstances of the general community as well. Also, as an organization, we want to support our community, the Latin American community in Queensland, in dealings with the federal, state, and local governments, so that we actually have a representation and a participation in the decision making and in every aspect of the society that may affect us. Apart from that, we want to be inclusive and gather all the information and all the needs and inquiries and concerns of our community to establish priorities and present a unified viewpoint and express these concerns to the relevant that are relevant to Australia's multicultural society. So basically, we as a community organization, we want to embrace our community and open opportunities to participate and to provide and improve our Australian society. But besides understanding what LACA Queensland is, it is also important to understand what the community that we represent is. So basically, Latin America is not a single country, of course, It represents more than 20 countries with very different backgrounds, with different ancestries, with different ethnic groups, with sometimes different languages, different music, different way of dressing. However, we share a language, which is Spanish, which is the most common language throughout Latin America, and we also share many similarities in our history. So because of those links, we believe, and we, as an organization, we propose that we can, here in Australia, all these countries can work together and can become a community, so that as a larger group, we can actually achieve proper participation and representation in the society. So we're talking about more than 130,000 people in Australia, and more than 20,000 people in Queensland. And this is people that report in the census that were born overseas. These numbers do not include the sons and the second and the third generation of these families or these people that migrated to Australia. So the truth or the fact is that the Latin America is big. Yeah, it's true. But to be significant and to have a real possibility of participation, we have to be together as a whole community. And basically, that's why LACA Queensland is an organization that aims to represent all Latin America together. So now that we understand what LACA Queensland is, and also what we as an organization understand the Latin American community is, now we can discuss how the project with My Care and with Prince William Alexander Village came about. So for us, this is a project called Residential Aged Care Service for the Spanish-speaking community in Queensland. And two important things here. First, the need for an aged care service appropriate for this community has been an aspiration of the community for a long time, for many years, more than 20, 30 years. So now that is a reality, we're very proud of it, and we want to make it work, and we're trying to do all our effort to make it a very good option for our community. Secondly, even though we are the Latin American community, as you can see, the name of the project is not the Latin American Community Aged Care Service, it's the Spanish-speaking community. And the Spanish-speaking community is largely composed by the Latin American community, but we, as a community, decided that we also wanted to offer and give chance with this service to people from other places, like mostly from Spain, who would be in need of this service as well. So that's also an important thing that you need to consider when you think about the culturally appropriate aged care service for the Spanish-speaking community that we are trying to establish with the work of LACA Queensland and My Care. As you can imagine, this didn't happen in just from one day to another. It is a long process, and the first approach between Prince William Alexander and LACA was towards the end of 2015, where in a workshop about the partners in culturally appropriate aged care here in Queensland. And at that time, LACA Queensland and Prince William started a conversation about the possibility of delivering this type of service. It took almost a year and a half to finally sign an agreement where we, as organizations, agreed to work towards establishing this type of services. And as most of you probably know, the first Spanish-speaking resident that arrived to Prince William Alexander arrived in late 2016. Now that we are midway through 2018, we have about 12 residents and more than 20 staff, Spanish-speaking staff, which reinforces the fact of the progress of the project and the seriousness and the commitment that we all have to make this culturally appropriate service work. From our part, from the Latin America, from LACA Queensland as an organization, and from the Latin American community, it took a lot of effort from a lot of volunteers. We organized a committee, a strategic planning committee with people from 5 different countries, from at least 5 different organizations, all who believed that we could achieve a service that it was suitable for the Spanish-speaking elderly. And all that work done over a year and a half, finally came into place when we first had our open day session at Prince William, nearly in August of 2016 already. So basically what we want to show that this is a very important project for the community, where a significant part of the community got involved, and where all these people that have been involved in the project have high expectations for the present and for the future of this project. So basically, I brought this photo just as a nice reminder of the friendship and the relationship and the strong relationship that we want to build with, not only with Prince William Alexander Village, but with My Care, so that hopefully let us grow as a community and as a service that provides a very good service for the elder in our community. And that's probably, or that is what is already happening. The needs of many of our elders are already met. More than 12 people are already benefiting from this service. But at the same time, the project has offered opportunities for people in our community with the skills, knowledge appropriate to deliver this service, which means there have been employment opportunities for us as well. And more importantly, we are building a culturally appropriate service. And I just want to emphasize that it's a culturally appropriate service, not just a service that in other words, is more than a mainstream service. We want to serve the needs of the elderly with very high standards, but in a way that is suitable to their backgrounds, to their cultural backgrounds, and to their cultural needs. And this is not just a strange idea. This is a commitment from My Care, and it's a trend within many services to actually deliver appropriate services, because it's the appropriate way of delivering services for people. It has been shown that it improves their life, their general circumstances, their health, their well-being overall, and hence the importance of establishing more and more of these type of services. And besides that, the project has given LACA and the community a way of participating and having representation in the community. So this project is now known by the sector, and many organizations in the sector and in the government have heard about this focus of working different communities together to build services that are appropriate for both of them, and how this can become a model to follow in Queensland and hopefully in Australia. Well, this was a very quick overview of what we are, of what we want to achieve, and what we expect for the future. But I hope it clarifies a little bit what LACA is and what their relationship with My Care is or has been, and the importance of the project developed within these two organizations. I invite you to know more about our community and to know more about our organization. Uh, you can have access to our website, or you can contact us directly through our email and on the phone numbers that you can see in this slide. But more importantly, I want to reinforce the fact that by understanding each other and by working together, we are building a better Australian society. This is not about uh, creating more barriers or creating a separate world for the Latin American community. No, we're just trying to build a better society by having better understanding of each other and by responding to the needs of a particular population. Yes, in a very culturally appropriate way, but expecting the benefits of building a better community and a better society for all. Um, and with that, I leave you again with Mercedes, and thanks again for the time that you spent with us. Thank you.